letters we'd get from people. We played their music at my daughter's wedding. Or our Father went to heaven listening to the to the vocal. I'm sorry, I get choked up thinking about that. Listen to your music, so that kind of gets to you.
Gita and I, my wife, we dated for about 3.5 years, and then went and broke up. And we were broken up for about a little over 2 years, I think.
I had hit a pretty rough patch with my now wife of more than 20 years, which I'm very thankful for. The summer before we were married, we were apart from one another. And she had flown actually to a different state and was there for weeks on end, and actually there was no reason for me to believe that we would have been together again.
The moment we broke up, I knew I loved this woman. What in the world am I doing? Even my best friend said, "You're nuts. What are you doing?" So it was just like, it was a decision I regretted almost instantly.
But I sent her 9 dozen roses, and with the last dozen that I sent her, I said, "Would you please meet me?" And I flew up, and thankfully she said yes. I flew up and met her.
We kind of got back together just to talk over dinner and just talk through things. And we both confessed to each other that really we'd try to date other people and there was nobody like each other. And so
I sent a limousine to pick her up. As a part of that, I prepared a little playlist of songs. It was very few.
And I just said, maybe we can just sort of delay this and really talk after International, because I just feel like I gotta focus a little bit on that. And so we did, accept that she actually happened to be at International. And so we kind of met up there and we talked a lot more while we were there.
The very first song was "The Music Never Ends."
How do you keep the music playing?
How do you keep the music playing? There's just so many words in there that made me think of the love of my life. And that night sparked the rest of our love story.
We're standing in the back of the hall next to each other when the vocal majority, who had won the year previously, were doing their, what we call a swan song set, right? And the song that they started singing, as I'm standing next to this woman who I loved and hadn't been with for such a long time, they started singing, "If I Give My Heart to You."
If I give my heart to you, will you handle it with care?
Will you handle it with care? Think it over and be sure. Please don't answer till you do. And promise all these things to me, then I'll give my heart to you. Well, as they're singing that, as only the vocal majority can, we just held hands. All of a sudden, we just held hands, and we were back there, and both of us were just, I'm sure, welling up and just thinking, okay, this is right.
My wife put together a music wall of our songs. A song from my parents, a song from her parents, a song for us. And so I had asked Jim at the time, I said, is there like an old piece of sheet music or something like that that you took the lead sheet from or something like that? And he said, I don't have anything like that. And so I told him the story, and he's like, well, let me do something. And Judy does all of the handwriting of Jim's charts. So in my house is the first page of "The Music Never Ends," and that's our song, and it's in Judy's font.
And we were married less than a year later. And so, the vocal majority, and I'm sure that this is not an isolated story. I'm glad I get to tell this story. You know that there are thousands of people with stories like that about the vocal majority.